Hey guys, my name's Courtney Edwards from Quest. I'd like to welcome you to Reconnect's Dive Deep session. I have a few reminders before we get started. Attendees will remain muted throughout the session. Attendees can type their questions into the Q&A module in the Zoom toolbar. We will address any questions at the end of the session, and if time doesn't permit, I will send over the questions to Greg and he will reach out to you personally. At this time, I'll turn it over to our speaker, Greg Roel, and thank you guys. I hope you enjoy.
All right, thanks everyone for joining. My name is Greg Rowell. I represent Datavail. We have a short 15 minutes today, and I'm obviously from the South and talk slowly, so we're going to move right along. But I have two goals, and that is to introduce you to PayMatch and what we call PayMatch Pro, and to also keep you on schedule. So we are a IT consulting firm. As you can see, we're an Oracle partner as far as partnership. We work only with Oracle on the enterprise application side. We do engage in a lot of moves of Oracle workloads to the cloud, and we do work around obviously PeopleSoft and other Oracle applications, and we've been doing it for a number of years. We're about 1,200 consultants strong, and we operate in the U.S., Canada, India, and Colombia, South America as well. So a little bit about us, but let's talk about the product for today and the solution that we want to highlight, and that is PayMatch. And we also mentioned PayMatch Pro, and just a quick note on that, not as important for this meeting today, but PayMatch Pro works with the Oracle Cloud application. But today we're going to focus on PayMatch. So PayMatch, as it says here, is really a time saver as far as testing and balancing two different payrolls within the PeopleSoft environment. And we say across three major categories, but really we'll see as we go through the presentation that it is three categories, but there's a lot of ways to slice and dice and evaluate the information when you compare two payrolls within the PeopleSoft environment. And it is not really industry specific. We have a number of companies that have used the solution over the years. We're currently on release 9.2, so it's been in the market for a while. Just as a highlight, we have a client, FedEx, that uses the solution and has for a number of years. And another one in the healthcare industry we'll talk about a little bit later is McKesson. They used it for a number of years. They've moved to a different ERP system, and actually they use PayMatch to help with that transition. So it's really across industries. So PayMatch is really a proven solution for testing and balancing payrolls. So just the facts real quick. It's been in the market for a while. It is an Oracle validated solution, or actually both are. So we've provided the code to Oracle and they validated the solution. We continue to revise the product. We're currently at release 9.2. About 3 years ago, we decided to match the Oracle PeopleSoft release numbering system. So we're currently at 9.2. We've updated the system. Over the years, we've had up to over 45 customers use it. It's very easy to install because it is delivered as an application designer project. So it works within the PeopleSoft PeopleTools environment. Very easy to install, and a lot of customers that have used it over the years. So I mentioned it is an Oracle validated integration. So I guess the main message there, it has been authorized for deployment within PeopleSoft environments by Oracle, and won't spend a lot of time there. Let's get into the product a little bit and what it does. So we say it just got easier, but it's been easier for our clients for several years. So the tool really at its core evaluates one payroll over another. So examination, investigation, verification, proofing, and change management. So basically, in a nutshell, the application will allow you to compare one payroll over another. So we've seen a lot of our clients use it during the PUM update process. A lot of clients use it, for example, in the open enrollment process when all the benefit amounts might have changed for an employee. So it really does this verification and auditing between two payrolls. And as I mentioned, it's currently on release 9, and it is a product of Datavail and developed by Datavail. So when should the client use this? What are some of the possible use cases? So it's not often that we see new implementations, but was on a session earlier here at Reconnect where a company, or actually a state, talked about just implementing PeopleSoft Payroll in the last year or so. So there are new implementations there. So if you have a new implementation coming up, it's definitely usable there. It is capable of helping you map from a third-party payroll. Let's say you were converting from a service bureau into PeopleSoft, and maybe you already have PeopleSoft up and running. This is a company you have acquired, and you want to do some comparison and analysis to make sure that payroll is correct before you do the first live confirmed payroll in PeopleSoft. It is, I mentioned earlier, kind of in the bottom left there, for both all the tax updates and during the PUM cycle update manager, that's when it's typically used the most. And then on the right side, we talk about just some other areas. We have seen instances where some fraud has been detected by the tool. There are some people that I mentioned use it for open enrollment. And it's really, we have example here, we have a client that just recently added an hourly payroll. They hadn't had hourly payroll, and they wanted to test that several times before they took it live. So that's another use for it. So another number of use cases for the product. So the most popular are implementations, a reasonability test. I want to compare one payroll over another and see if there's some issues. And a point there is that you'll see these tolerance standards that you can set. Whereas you can say, I want to see something if it's over X% difference or a penny difference or monetary value. So it's got a lot of functionality around that validation. And as I mentioned, PUM updates and tax updates are probably the most common use from our clients for deploying the product. So this is a kind of a busy screen. This is the main menu that you would see. And note that it says PayMatch for North America. So this is for North America. It is not certified for global payroll, but it is certified for payroll North America, the US, and Canada. So you can see this general layout of the menu. And just some things I want to highlight there. Obviously, there's some configuration things that we walk through with our clients when we do a new deployment. There are trends. I want to see if there are more checks in this payroll than the other. Another thing that you can evaluate are pay trends. I want to see pay trends by earnings. Did earnings for overtime go up from one payroll over another? So you'll see, like, for example, with pay trends, there are a number of different options there. And this is just the core menu for setting up and running PayMatch within your environment. So some of the things I mentioned earlier that you can compare on, you can say, I want to compare to, let's say, a deduction. Is it the same from one payroll over the other? Is it some things I may not want to compare? And then there's this option to say, is this item in the new payroll and not in the old? And then the exact opposite of that, old and not new. And then unequal amounts. So that would tell you if there is either a percentage difference or a monetary value difference from one payroll over the other. So those are some of the ways that you can increase your accuracy of a payroll by using these compare tools. In a minute, we'll see where this fits within the processing of PeopleSoft payroll prior to the commit phase, and we'll kind of walk through that. But these are some of the compare types that you can use within the environment. Now, I know this is a busy screen, but if you look across the top, what we're looking at is a check for a person. And then you also can can drill down by earnings, deductions, general deductions, benefits
Hey,
deduction.
Greg, I'm sorry,
Yes,
I'm interrupting. It looks like we're still on the first screen. I don't know if if maybe this is, I'm just trying to see if we're on the I'm trying to make sure we're on the right screen.
we should be on slide 10.
It's still showing 1 on our side.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
I
no,
just got a message
that's
about
very
it.
important. Oh, goodness.
Maybe stop sharing and then oh, there we
Yeah,
go. Never mind. I see slides 10 now.
okay. Well, let me just do it this way then, in essence of time, because we only have a few minutes left here. So this particular slide 10, is a look at a specific payroll for a specific person. And as mentioned, if you look across the top, you can see the different types of areas that you can drill down into: earnings, deductions, general deductions, and so forth. One thing I want to note, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there are the tolerances that we've set up. We want to see if there's any difference between one check over the other. Again, obviously with taxes and rounding and all, you often have a difference of a penny or two, but you can evaluate it down to that level. And moving on to slide 11, I talked earlier about where it fits into the payroll process. So PayMatch is used between the calculate pay before the confirm pay. So you run a payroll for a entity, you want to compare it to a prior payroll that you ran in order to get a validation that the amounts are as you expected. So you can apply a PUM, run a payroll, apply a PUM, and then run another payroll, and then compare those two payrolls before the confirm process. So it's very important to note that it is comparing two payroll runs prior to the confirm process to help you catch any errors that that might have come through. And just real quickly on the technical highlights, we mentioned earlier, it is delivered as an app designer project. It's very easy to install. And then we show a quick sample of the menu there. I mentioned earlier that we have a large healthcare company that has used this and did use it for a number of years, about 12 years actually, and they were able to drive a lot of the testing out of the payroll cycle as they ran PeopleSoft over the years and added a multitude of companies over time. So PayMatch, the data sheet is available. I can send that to you. I apologize for the issue with the presentation. We can get you this information about the solution. I'll work with Courtney to see if if I can actually send you this presentation as well for those of you that may want to note that. But I wanted to open it up and see if there are any questions that that we can entertain right now.
I am going to note that the presentation will be available for attendees and anyone else who wants access within 24 hours of the end of the session.
Okay. Thanks, Courtney. Anybody have a question? Again, my goal is to keep you on schedule today.
I didn't see any come in, but if anyone has any, feel free to shoot them in the question and answer.
All right. Well, I am here to answer any of your questions. Again, we'll get you the presentation, and you can reach out to me through LinkedIn or through the Reconnect site. So thanks everybody for your participation, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your day.